Hello and welcome to a new series, City of Motions 2. It's a transit simulator. You build bus lines, trolley lines, tram, train, metro, monorail, and water taxi. Basically, you can also modify the roads, walking paths, and basically your goal here is to uh, create a mass transit system for the entire city. You do have different cities to choose from. This is just one of them. This is in sandbox mode, so it's just no money. Buy and do whatever you want, as much as you want. Here we're gonna build a bus route. We're gonna lay a bunch of stops down, and then we're gonna connect them up with a line. Each of the halos represent the coverage, so wherever whatever buildings are in the halos is what the people will come from. So, and each building is ranges from residential to commercial to industrial, depending on what section you're in. You have regular commuters, you have tourists, school children that go to high school, middle school. Here we're going to add a few extra stops because I'm going to run it into this other section. So we'll just add the stops and then attach them to the line. Now we'll buy some buses. I have some downloadable content, so I have a little more buses than what you would get with the regular game. What we'll do is we'll pick a bus with some good seating. If you were to play the campaign mode, all those numbers as to fuel usage, reliability, speed, service quality, a lot would more depend on you completing the scenario. But in sandbox, doesn't matter. You can use as many buses and whatever as you want. We'll edit the timetable here. The default timetable at like weekdays it's like every 2 hours, weekends it's like every 3 hours, and also you can change the range. Here you can increase or decrease. The morning rush, evening rush can allow you to have more than one bus in an hour, but you can also do that by making the interval like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, 40, 45, anything less than an hour, and you can have multiple buses in an hour depending on your start time and end time. Here I'll go for every 30 minutes during the morning rush. I'll expand my evening rush period. Now the game does have certain default times that they make the rush hour where you'll have the most amount of people, but I expand it because if they're traveling on a long line, uh, buses and whatever can get crowded. So you want as many buses to try to come through your line. Here, I always like to do overnight service because you do have the game people show up and wait at stops in the wee hours in the morning because sometimes the buses do get overcrowded and they're just waiting around. But also on the Saturdays and Sundays, they'll go to the entertainment sections of your city. So you want to have enough coverage and decent routes to get them all. But in Sandbox, the cost of this doesn't matter, but if you were playing a campaign, you would start out small, earn a profit on a line, and then expand your schedules or timetables. Here we're gonna maybe buy a few more buses. Now each different depot can hold different amounts. I've chose the larger, which can hold up to 20 vehicles, but you can have more vehicles assigned to a depot, but it can only maintain the maximum number, and only the maximum number can fit in. So you have to think of it, if you have a pretty good schedule, there's going to be buses out on the roads, so you can have more than the maximum. On the little block there, the top number that says 14 is the total number of vehicles available at this depot. The 14/20 is the total number. 14 is the total number assigned to this depot. 20 is your maximum. That can be repaired at any one time. So you can have 40 buses in this 20 bus depot. Only 20 of those 40 can be serviced. The other 20 can be out on the road. And if your schedule's broad enough and has enough buses, you won't have any backups, because there is an issue if you have 21 buses and all 21 buses want to fit in the station. You usually get one stuck outside. So you can back up your route and stuff if you have too many vehicles, but you can essentially assign a large amount of vehicles to cover. Here we'll just follow our little bus around. On the lower left here, you have a magnifying glass, which is a view. So you can select your vehicle, watch it through this little window as it goes along. But you can also hit the plus sign on the bus one window, and you'll follow along. And what you can also do is use the camera and just kind of zoom and follow. As the mouse hovers over stuff, roads, buildings, it can give you information about those. You can also click on any building and it'll give you information of if it's a tenement, residential, commercial, potential for workers, potential. There are also some game maps and data overlays that you can look at that tell you kind of where people are, where they work, so you can build your lines to go there. I have been playing this game a long time. I like it. It's you could say it's a little similar, but much different than SimCity or any of the SimCity games. But there are also other games like Transport Tycoon, Locomotion, other things that have ability to have buses and trains and different things that build transit. This is more like along of a bus simulator, but you do have trains, metro or trains, trams, trolleys, a little more. I just always found this game entertaining. Yeah, you can view the passengers, their information, where their home is, where the workplace is, where they're going, uh, and you can actually follow the people. If you click on the people, all of those little white X's on the right side of their information panel, you can follow them, where they go, what they do. It'll tell you if they have a car, if they drive a car. Now for the streets, as you can see, some of them do have bus routes. Uh, if you are playing the campaign, the more bus lanes you have, that's an expense. So if you go and you modify roads and you add bus lanes, it does cost you a little more to operate your system. You can modify the roads. You can add, delete, make bus only, uh, increase intersections. Because you will find as you play the game that you will get traffic jams when you first start out. Your system, there's not a lot of traffic, but as you go along, the population starts growing. Even though there's all these buildings here, but the population starts growing, and you can find some of the roads have traffic jams. You can fix and modify. You have regular roads, avenues, expressways, which you'll see in a little bit. That you can modify and build on ramps, off ramps. When you first start out, you'll notice that each station, if the passengers wait too long, you'll see a yellow face, and then you'll see a red face. When you first start out, you're gonna get them. There's just no way around it because your bus routes first starting out and people line up don't always realize that you're just starting out. But after a while, once they get on, they'll be happy. As you see, all the left, all the citizens like the service. Uh, as you go along and you build your bus lines, if you start getting these, either add more buses, uh, have multiple lines service an area. Uh, just to increase, because you can even try different forms. Like you could have a metro run underneath the ground like a subway system. If you have an area where your bus route's kind of long, it's just not the best. Replace the bus route with an underground subway. Underground subway can hold far more than a bus, and you can actually alleviate the transit. Now here we're following Citizen a little bit. We're back to the bus, but that's what you can do. You can follow someone around, see how they like your system, where they go, where they get on, where they get off. Uh, you can also build routes, so you'll have a citizen who will take a bus to a train to maybe another bus to get where they're going. So if you interlink your transportation system, you can also benefit, if you're playing campaign mode, from transfers. When a citizen transfers from one form to another, you get extra money. The detail I have it set on right now is high, so that's why you see a lot of the good textures. But also it can slow the game down because I'm recording here, so it's kind of slowing it down just a little bit. But it's still very, very good. I have played SimCity, the new one. I played the old ones, this SimCity 2000, SimCity 3000. I played Locomotion. I played Transport Giant and a few others. But this is probably one of the favorites. Because you're just focusing on transport system. You don't have to worry about government. I have played in the past like a bus transportation simulator, which also had trams. So this reminds me a lot of it. Yeah. Uh, all your buses must start and end at the same depot. You can't have a depot one in your line, a depot in the other in your line, and you can do that, but you'll have to reconnect the buses so they end at the original depot. Why would you want to do a two depot system? If it's a long line, keep your buses in good maintenance because your buses do deteriorate. So it's important that you take care of them. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and talk to you soon.